warm welcome to South Asia Today, where we bring you in-depth insights into the key events shaping South Asia. I'm Pratiksha Mishra, and here are today's top stories. Ambaji marble carves India's path to global stone markets. Nepal local bodies call for social harmony after Madhesh communal tensions. And Pakistani negligence leaves Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan network paralyzed. Let's begin the show. India has vast reserves of high-quality marble used in construction, architecture, and interior design, supporting infrastructure, exports, craftsmanship, and employment. Producing over 40 million tons annually, marble defines India's heritage and modern elegance. Gujarat's GI-tagged Ambaji marble stands out for its purity and durability, empowering artisans and strengthening India's global marble identity. We have this report. From iconic monuments to luxury homes and global interiors, marble has long symbolized India's elegance and endurance. Rooted in heritage yet driven by modern demand, the sector is emerging as a key pillar of construction, infrastructure, and exports. Valued at $3.3 billion in 2024, India's marble industry is projected to reach $6 billion by 2033. This growth is powered by premium regional varieties, most notably Gujarat's Ambaji marble, prized for its purity, durability, and natural shine. With its new GI tag, Ambaji marble now gains legal protection and global distinction.
અને તે એમના આર્ટિકલની પાછળ જીઆઈ ટેગનો સિમ્બોલ લગાવી શકશે અને એ સિમ્બોલ લગાવવાથી તેમને જે કંઈ પણ પ્રોડક્ટ બનાવે છે એની કિંમત વધે છે, એના પર લોકોનો વિશ્વાસ વધે છે.
The town of Ambaji in Gujarat has a well-developed marble industry encompassing mining, processing, and skilled craftsmanship, with many local livelihoods dependent on it. The region is a premier source of high-quality, over 1,000-year-old white marble known for its purity, exceptional durability, and sustainability for carving. Widely used in temples and exported internationally, Ambaji marble features in renowned structures such as the Ambaji Temple and Ayodhya's Ram Temple. Its high silicon oxide and calcium content enhance the strength, longevity, and purity of these architectural masterpieces.
અંબાજી મંદિર જે પ્રસિદ્ધ છે એ મંદિરની રચનામાં પણ અંબાજીનો જ માર્બલ આ જ અંબાજી પ્રોપરનો માર્બલ જ વાપરવામાં આવ્યો છે. અને દિન પ્રતિદિન મને આશા છે કે આ જીઆઈ ટેગ મળવાથી એક અંબાજી માર્બલને આગવી ઓળખ મળશે અને એને કારણે અંબાજી માર્બલને હજી વધારે પ્રસિદ્ધિ મળશે. લોકોની રોજગારીમાં પણ ખૂબ વધારો થશે. માર્બલ ઉદ્યોગ સાથે જોડાયેલા લોકોને ખૂબ જ એનાથી ફાયદો થશે.
Alongside advanced machinery and modern technology, skilled artisans add meticulous hand finishing that elevates every piece. Beyond tradition, marble now shapes modern homes, commercial complexes, and the floors and walls of sacred spaces, valued for its strength and elegance. Increasingly, finely carved marble idols, revered for their purity, serene beauty, and spiritual symbolism, are driving fresh demand, blending craftsmanship with devotion and expanding the marble industry's contemporary appeal.
અંબાજી એક યાત્રાધામ પણ છે, તો અહીંયા ઘણા બધા યાત્રાળુ આવે છે તો માર્બલની વસ્તુઓ લે છે, આર્ટિકલ લે છે, મૂર્તિઓ લે છે. તો પહેલાં પ્રમાણે એનું વેચાણ ઓછું હતું, પણ જીઆઈ ટેગ મળવાથી હવે અહીંયાનું વેચાણ ખૂબ વધશે અને અહીંયા આજુબાજુ ઘણા આદિવાસી અને મધ્યમ વર્ગીય ગરીબ પરિવારોને અહીંયા રોજગારી મળશે અને એનાથી એમનું ભરણ પોષણ થશે.
With the GI tag propelling Ambaji marble onto the global stage, India's marble industry stands at a powerful crossroads of heritage and growth. By safeguarding authenticity, empowering skilled artisans, and creating livelihoods, this recognition boosts regional economies while reaffirming India's legacy of timeless craftsmanship, spiritual artistry, and enduring natural wealth. Tensions continues to grip Nepal's southern plains after authorities imposed a curfew in Birganj following unrest sparked by controversial TikTok video. What began as an online post allegedly hurting religious sentiments quickly escalated into street protest, clashes with police, and incidents of vandalism, prompting heightened security across parts of Madhya province this week. While the curfew has now been lifted, security remains on alert as normalcy slowly returns to Birganj.
The curfew imposed in Birganj town of Nepal's Parsa district following communal tension was lifted at 6 p.m. on Tuesday after a meeting involving leaders of all major political parties. The communal tension in Madhya province erupted after a TikTok video uploaded from Janakpur in Dhanusha district allegedly hurt religious sentiments. Authorities said the decision was taken after assessing the improving law and order situation in the city, which had witnessed protests and clashes over the past 2 days. Parsa Chief District Officer Bhola Dahel appealed to residents to maintain peace and restraint, expressing hope that normal life would soon return.
मुस्लिम समुदायहरूले आफ्नो त्यो विषयमा उहाँहरूले विरोध प्रदर्शन गर्नुभएको थियो 2-3 ठाउँमा टायरहरू बालेर अलिअलि प्रदर्शन गर्नुभएको थियो र हामीले मुस्लिमका अगुवा र आन्दोलनरत साथीहरूसँग कोअर्डिनेसन गरेर र त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले अहिले स्थिति सबै कुरा नियन्त्रणमा आइसकेको छ र त्यसै सन्दर्भमा चाहिँ गम्भीरतापूर्वक लिई निम्न बमोजिम कानुनी दायरामा ल्याइने बेहोरा समेत सबैमा जानकारी गराउँछौँ भनेर हामीले अपिल जारी गरेका छौँ। खास गरी यो मुलुकी अपराध संहिता 2074 त्यसपछि यो विद्युतीय कारोबार ऐन 2063 बमोजिम चाहिँ हामीले यसलाई चाहिँ आवश्यक पर्यो भने कानुनी कारबाहीमा पनि हामी जान सक्छौँ भनेर हामीले त्यसलाई चाहिँ सार्वजनिक रूपमा चाहिँ एउटा अपिल जारी गरेका छौँ।
The situation worsened in Kamala Municipality's Ward 6 after a mosque was vandalized, prompting heavy security deployment. Demonstrators staged rallies in and around Birganj, burning tires and chanting slogans. A brief clash broke out at Chhapkaiya Eidgah Chowk, where police fired 5 rounds of tear gas to disperse protesters. Dhanusha police confirmed the arrest of 3 people in connection with the TikTok video and vandalism. Deputy Superintendent of Police Ganesh Bam said investigations were ongoing. During the Birganj clashes, 7 police personnel sustained minor injuries, with officials stating that minimum force was used to control the situation. While restrictions have eased, authorities say continued vigilance is essential as Nepal's southern plains remain sensitive. The incident once again highlights how social media content can rapidly escalate into communal unrest if not addressed responsibly.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in our segment called Asia Watch.
Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh unveiled the country's first indigenous pollution control vessel, Samudra Pratap, Majesty of Seas, in coastal Goa state this week. The vessel has a displacement of 4,170 tons and a length of 115 meters, with features including pollution control. The commissioning ceremony marks India's firm resort for self-reliance in defence manufacturing. In December, India's Defence Acquisition Council cleared proposals worth 790 billion rupees, $8.78 billion, to buy radars, radios, automatic takeoff landing recording systems, and other equipment for its Army, Navy, and Air Force. An alliance of left-wing groups, led by the Frontline Socialist Party, demonstrated outside the U.S. Embassy in Sri Lanka's capital, Colombo, against the U.S. operation in Venezuela on Saturday, January 3rd, in which the president, Nicolas Maduro, was captured to face drug charges in New York on Monday. Police cordoned off the embassy as more than 200 demonstrators chanted anti-US slogans while carrying banners against US policies. Protesters accuse Washington of wanting to take Venezuela's oil reserves and of flouting democracy. The operation to depose Maduro was biggest US intervention in Latin America since the 1989 invasion of Panama. There has been global consternation at Trump's seizure of a foreign head of state, albeit an unpopular one, and the UN Security Council was due to debate its legality and implications on Monday. Washington's allies, most of whom did not recognize Maduro as president due to vote-rigging allegations, have been more muted, stressing the need for dialogue and adherence to law. Travelers and motorists passed through checkpoints in Aden on Monday, a day after Yemen's Saudi-backed government accused UAE-backed southern separatists of cutting off the port city and warned it would take all necessary measures following territorial gains in the east. The Southern Transitional Council, STC, denied restricting movement into Aden, but the government's accusations underscored continuing tensions despite recent proposals for dialogue. Fighting between the government and the STC since early last month has deepened rifts within the Gulf-backed coalition, battling Iran-aligned Houthi forces. The Houthis seized the capital Sana'a in 2014, prompting Gulf intervention the following year and leaving Yemen divided into rival zones. The government said the STC had imposed movement restrictions and carried out arrests in Aden. Aden has served as the government's main base outside Houthi-held areas since 2015, though leaders relocated to Saudi Arabia after the STC seized control last month. After government forces said they retook Mukalla in Hadramaut province on Saturday, residents reported STC checkpoints around Aden.
In Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, residents of the remote area of Jaglot are struggling with ongoing internet and mobile network outages, exposing a severe governance failure. Businesses, students, and families face isolation as connectivity problems persist, disrupting daily life and essential communication. Despite multiple complaints, authorities have taken no lasting action. Analysts warn that these repeated failures reflect chronic mismanagement by Pakistan administration, leaving residents frustrated, digitally cut off, and increasingly vulnerable.
In Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, a region where reliable digital connectivity is essential, frequent network failures are severely disrupting daily life. Residents say mobile and internet services disappear unexpectedly, impacting both personal communication and critical business activities. Experts warn that ongoing neglect could trigger long-term economic setbacks in POGB, deepening isolation for local communities and undermining growth in an area that depends heavily on stable communication for survival and development.
सबसे पहले हम यहाँ पे बात करेंगे जुगलोट गोर में इंटरनेट के इशू के हवाले से। इंटरनेट जो इशू है बहुत ज़्यादा संगीन है। यहाँ पे आप देखें मोबाइल यहाँ पर हमारे पास लाइट हमारे पास मौजूद है, इंटरनेट नहीं है। सुबह से लेकर शाम तक बिल्कुल बंद ही है, सिग्नल भी नहीं है और इंटरनेट भी नहीं है साथ में। इसका असल जो मसला है ये छलत साइड से है, क्योंकि ये जो कनेक्टेड है ये टावर ये छलत साइड से कनेक्टेड है। एक दो टावरों में लोग क्या करते हैं उधर तेल को बेचते हैं। अगर एक दो घंटे के लिए लाइट चली भी जाए तो तेल बेच के टावर ऑन नहीं करते। इस मामले को लेकर हम एक दफ़ा SCO वालों के पास गए वहाँ पे, तो उन्होंने जैसे इंजीनियर जो अल्ताफ हुसैन जाता है वहाँ पे उसके पास हम गए तो उसने पता किया कि आगे से मसला कहाँ पे है, तो ये छलत साइड से मसला दिखाया। उसने एक्शन लिया। उसके बाद करीब एक महीने तक कोई ब्रेकडाउन नहीं हुआ था सिग्नल का, लेकिन जब टाइम काफ़ी गुजर गया तो वो लोग भूल गए इस मामले को। फिर अब स्टार्ट किया है। पिछले दिनों भी हफ्ता करीब नेट नहीं था हमारे पास। हमारे जो पैकेजेस होते हैं तो SCO वाले खुद अंदर से ही काट देते हैं, बस या कुछ पैकेज इस तरह ही ज़ाया होता है। लिहाजा हुकाम से हमारी गुजारिश है कि नोटिस ले, इस एरिया को देख ले, आके कोई स्पेशल कोई टीम आके यहाँ पर विजिट करके खुद चेक कर ले, इस इशू को हल करे। न करने की सूरत में या फिर सारे मिल के ये सिमों को ही जला देंगे, कि टावर को ही मुकम्मल बंद करके दूसरी कंपनी के साथ हम राबिता करेंगे।
Jaglote's communication networks serve as critical lifelines for businesses and residents alike. Persistent outages disrupt transactions, delay emergency responses, and hamper essential services. Experts and community leaders say these recurring failures highlight Pakistan's poor management of infrastructure and eroding public trust. The continued negligence leaves residents frustrated, anxious, and increasingly isolated, struggling to cope in a region where reliable mobile and internet connectivity is essential for daily life and economic activity.
आज 3 दिन से पूरे रोड में इस काम का सिग्नल नहीं है। पहले भी कई दिन इस तरह सिग्नल नहीं था, हमने आगे कंप्लेंट किया था, कोई हल नहीं हुआ और ज़्यादा रोज़ से अभी तक हमारा राबिता नहीं हो रहा है सिग्नल नहीं होने की वजह से, तो कोई दिलचस्पी नहीं ले रही है और हम खुद परेशान है। हमारा ऑनलाइन काम हो रहा है, हम परेशान है।
सबसे पहले तो हम फौजी वायु को रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं, यहाँ गुर एक बिल्कुल मुकम्मल कारोबारी पॉइंट है। यहाँ हर वक्त हर बंदे के लिए सिग्नल की ज़रूरत होती है, क्योंकि या तो इमरजेंसी होती है या तो किसी ने कोई ना कोई चीज़ मंगवाने के लिए कॉल करते हैं, तो हमारे पास सिग्नल ने बहुत हमें डिस्टर्ब करती है। तो आज जब भी हम मोबाइल को निकालते कोई कॉल करेंगे कि निकाला तो हमारे पास सिग्नल मुहैया नहीं होती है। तो हम फौजी भाइयों को रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि अपने ये नेटवर्क को सही मुकम्मल करके हमें सिग्नल फराहम करें।
In a landscape increasingly dependent on digital access, the chronic negligence of Pakistan's administration continues to leave Jaglote residents disconnected. Experts warn that without immediate intervention, economic and social isolation will worsen and public frustration may intensify. Restoring stable internet and mobile services is not just a convenience, it is a critical necessity for the survival and progress of communities in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan.
In a strong push towards women empowerment and economic self-reliance, the Directorate of Employment, Jammu and Kashmir, in collaboration with the J&K National Rural Livelihoods Mission, organized a one-day women entrepreneurship and self-help groups Mela at Government Degree College, Kathua. The initiative aimed to promote women entrepreneurship, strengthen self-help groups, and facilitate onboarding under Mission Yuva, providing women entrepreneurs with a supportive platform to grow and succeed. Take a look.
In an encouraging move to boost women-led entrepreneurship, Mission Yuva, Women Entrepreneurship and Self-Help Groups Mela was held at Government Degree College, Kathua. The event was inaugurated by Deputy Commissioner Kathua, Rajesh Sharma, in the presence of women entrepreneurs, self-help group members, and officials from various departments. Officials interacted with participants, applauding their innovation, hard work, and entrepreneurial spirit. Showcasing local enterprise and fostering self-reliance, Mission Yuva continues to empower women across Kathua and Jammu and Kashmir.
तो मैं आपके माध्यम से यही कहूँगा कि जो हमारी महिलाएं, जो हमारा युवा जो कुछ काम करना चाहता है, रादर ये भी कहूँगा कि उनको काम करना चाहिए जो काम नहीं कर रहा है। और ये हमारी गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम्स हैं, इनका बेनिफिट लीजिए। और ये वर्कशॉप उसी बेनिफिट को लोगों को थोड़ा सा एजुकेट करने के लिए, अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करने के लिए यहाँ पे हमने आज यहाँ आयोजित किया था। और इसमें ये भी है कि जो हमारे अच्छे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं, जिन्होंने अच्छा काम किया है, उनकी शो केसिंग होती है, क्योंकि ये एक मोटिवेशन का भी सोर्स होते हैं। तो मैं यही कहूँगा कि जो भी हमारे लोग हैं, कठुआ डिस्ट्रिक्ट के जो लोग हैं जो अनएम्प्लॉयड हैं, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इन चीज़ों का बेनिफिट लें। डिफरेंट स्कीम्स हैं, चाहे मिशन युवा के अंदर है, जैसे बोर्ड ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्कर्स हैं अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में, उनको बेनिफिट मिलता है, स्कॉलरशिप्स मिलती हैं उनके बच्चों को। दैन इंश्योरेंस स्कीम्स हैं हमारी, उसको भी हमने यहाँ पे शोकेसिंग की हैं, जो हर वर्ग के लोग जो हैं वो कर सकते हैं। लाइफ के डिफरेंट स्टेजेस में उनको बेनिफिट रहता है। तो बढ़ चढ़ के मैं चाहूँगा कि लोग इन चीज़ों का फ़ायदा लें।
Highlighting the success stories emerging from the grassroots, several women entrepreneurs shared their business journeys, inspiring fellow participants to pursue self-employment. To further strengthen women-led enterprises, the Deputy Commissioner distributed loan sanction letters to new entrepreneurs under various government schemes, including Mission Yuva. He also lauded the efforts of the Directorate of Employment and Jammu and Kashmir Rural Livelihood Mission for organizing the Mela and urged women to avail government schemes while directing line departments to provide sustained guidance and hand-holding support.
तो डिपार्टमेंट एग्रीकल्चर ने 2021 में एक प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट किया था जिसमें हमारे 257 पंचायतें हैं होल ऑफ द कठुआ डिस्ट्रिक्ट में और 278 ग्रुप्स हमारे बन चुके हैं जिनमें से कुछ उम्मीद के हैं कुछ डिपार्टमेंट ने बनाए हैं जो JKRLM आप सुनते हो कुछ उसके अंतर्गत बने हुए हैं कुछ डिपार्टमेंट एग्रीकल्चर ने बनाए हैं। वो डिपार्टमेंट एग्रीकल्चर सभी को ट्रेनिंग देता है जो ग्रुप्स काम करना चाहते हैं सभी को प्रमोट करता है और 278 हमारे जो लेडीज के ग्रुप्स बने हुए हैं उनमें 150 एक्टिव हैं और बाकी उनको देख देख के एज अ रोल मॉडल खुद को प्रमोट कर रही हैं।
On the occasion, numerous women self-help groups and NGOs showcased their stalls displaying a variety of locally produced and manufactured items including mushroom cultivation, honey, traditional foods and pickles and artificial decorative products. The exhibition highlighted the creativity and enterprise of women, reflecting their efforts to promote local production and contribute to economic self-reliance.
आज का ये जो कार्यक्रम है ये सिर्फ एक औरतों के लिए महत्वपूर्ण तरीके से आयोजित किया गया है। हमारी जो महिलाएं हैं जो खुद घर बैठकर अपना कुछ बिजनेस शुरू करना चाहती हैं और जैसे हमारे सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप की महिलाएं हैं जो साथ मिलकर एक दूसरे की मदद से अपना बिजनेस शुरू करती हैं और समाज में ना सिर्फ अपने परिवार का बल्कि पूरे समाज को आगे बढ़ाने में मदद करती हैं। तो ये उसी के लिए एक इंस्पिरेशनल और अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम आज आयोजित किया गया है। देखिए ये जो हमारा प्रोग्राम है इसके हम हर एक ब्लॉक में हर एक पंचायत में जाके अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम आए दिन करते रहते हैं और इस सारा जो स्कीम है ये पूरी ऑनलाइन स्कीम है। उसको अगर अपना कोई भी फॉर्म भरना है अपनी एप्लीकेशन मिशन युवा से रिलेटेड बिजनेस की भरनी है या और भी किसी भी तरीके की हेल्प चाहिए वो हमारे ऑफिस से डायरेक्टली कांटेक्ट कर सकता है या फिर हमारे युवा दूत जो हर एक पंचायत में नॉमिनेटेड हैं वो अपने युवा दूत के पास जाकर अपने नियरेस्ट SDM ऑफिस में जाकर कहीं भी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के पास जाकर अपना आइडिया रख सकता है और उसकी पूरी तरीके से डिपार्टमेंट मदद करेगा।
The Women Entrepreneurship and SHG's Mela at Kathua highlighted the remarkable development and inclusive growth in Jammu and Kashmir, with stalls showcasing local products like mushroom cultivation, honey, traditional foods, pickles and decorative items. The event promoted self-employment and entrepreneurship. Guided by the Proactive Administration, the Deputy Commissioner, Directorate of Employment and GNK NRLM, the Mela reinforced women empowerment and sustainable economic progress across the region.
As we wrap up today's episode of South Asia Today, we thank you for joining us. We'll return next week at the same time with more insights and updates. This is Pratiksha Mishra signing off on behalf of the entire team. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.